Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Four of Discs, which is one of my favorite cards. I always think of it as, oh, I get to stay home for a while and get my ducks in a row. It is definitely a place of power, right? We kind of go into our sacred place, our sacred spaces, our temple, our home, our fortress, and kind of, go in and restore ourselves, get ourselves centered and grounded. Okay, and so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Okay, so we have a 4 and a 0, so 40. We also have a pickaxe. Okay. Okay, so I want to start. Let me just look at this side real quick. Okay, I want to start right here. We have the pickaxe. So there is a sense of really looking for something, right? If you could think of like a pickaxe in the context of maybe like mining, or for me, I grew up in an area. I'm from Northern California, and very close to where the gold rush started. Well, there are a lot of gold rushes, but they're in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. And so, and we know like the 49ers and all this kind of thing. So I imagine, not that you are a gold miner, but I do imagine the sense of putting your all into searching for this gold that you're looking for. Now, this doesn't have to be material gold, but I think almost more that this is a spiritual kind of light, a spiritual nugget, as the alchemists talk about, taking a base metal or kind of a lower vibrating inner person and transmuting it into something that is open and the interior light kind of emanating out and moving towards the sense of some kind of perfection or enlightenment, or so on. So I do think that you are quite really on this journey, and you are quite involved. I think it's really just something that it is in all aspects of your life. Okay, if this is religion, spirituality, magic, or the occult, or many other sciences or philosophy, all of them together, it doesn't have to be any one thing, though. I think it really is kind of the way in which you live your life, and it flows from the top to the bottom to the top. I believe, most of our readings here, right? Most of the Capricorn readings usually involve something to do with work. I don't know why. Well, I do. A lot of Capricorn people are pretty work-oriented, I would think. I believe. And so this is what the symbols tell me. This is what the archetypes tell me. And so I do think that maybe you are in some kind of career path where you are able to really be in that spiritual place, in that posture of spirituality. And I think that this is maybe that you do some kind of service work. Maybe you are somebody who is maybe in the medical field, or a counselor maybe, or mental health, or I don't know, maybe you really are very directly involved with divination, or energy healing, or energy work, or I mean, it could be anything really like this. And I think that you've just found this amazing way to kind of really, it's not so overt, because I don't feel like you're a person that like goes out and you're trying to like you're not trying to convert people to whatever you believe, or even save people or anything like this. But I think that you are a person that you're so fully immersed in your path that it really is just so encoded into everything you do and say. You really live by your principles, by your virtues. Okay. You are strong in your convictions, and, instead of telling people, oh, we have to treat each other this certain way, or we have to do, we have to be kind to each other, we have to, look out for each other. You are kind to people. You are of service to your neighbor. You are somebody who shows up for others. You give people opportunities. You cheer them on. You are a living testament to a spiritual life. And I think that you probably change the way that people feel about how they're living, about their life, about the possibilities of their paradigm shifting. Our world really so often is left to our perception. Now, of course, there are things that happen and go on that it's undeniable, that it's tragic or horrific, or it makes no sense. It's devastating. And we can't just change that with our perception of things. But what we can do is try to live a life that is meaningful, to bring ease to ourselves and others, to lift the vibration, right? Hold each other up. Pull each other up when we're down, and work on affecting this world in a positive, or at least a way that is productive to the spiritual path, or whatever, through our local communities, through our families, through how how we live our lives, in our personal sanctums. And I believe that this is so much of how you exist. And I think that when people cross paths with you, they are you just know, right? You meet somebody and you think, that is a holy being. Now, it doesn't have to be any religion, but you can tell. It doesn't happen often, but you can tell. You know, they talk about how we have to treat everyone well because you never know when you're going to encounter an angel, right? And I think for some people, you are that angel. You are that being that is like, whoa, I really like talking to them. Whoa, they have like, I feel so energized when I've been in their presence. You are looking for that gold, right? I think in a lot of ways you are that gold. And so we also have, well, we have a couple eyes here. We have an eye here, we have an eye here. And I feel like it really is this sense of greater and greater awakening happening. I feel like, I mean, it is like your heart is aflame. I feel like you wake up sometimes in the morning and it's like, you could almost cry. Because it's so beautiful to just be alive and so thankful that you have more time. Not a lot of us think about life that way. I think you're probably a very humble person. You have a lot of gratitude. There's just an ease to you. I think that when people are looking for advice, comfort, honesty, clarity, you are somebody they seek out. I also see we have a dragon, and we have a person on the back of the dragon. Now, they're not slaying the dragon, okay? But there's a kinship there. And I think that there's something in your life where you realized, I don't want to defeat parts of myself. I want to love them. I want to balance them out through that love. I don't want to hate myself. I don't want to feed aspects of my being that I am ashamed of and feel guilty about. I don't want to feed that to my shadow and create a monster. But I'll take those places where I feel jealous, and sometimes I'm impatient and I can have sharp words and even get into a bit of a rage at my worst. But taking the time to be empathetic with yourself, taking that energy and putting it into things to make it useful. You know, and this could be a very basic example, but when we're feeling, I could just, you know, as they used to say, I could just spit. I'm so angry. Yeah, putting on your running shoes and going for a run. Going outside and cutting some wood. You know, getting all aggro. But doing something with it. Knowing that you don't need to burden others or harm others or yourself with these energies, but taming, not just taming, becoming friends with these energies, these feelings, these transient emotions, letting them come and go. TT has the zoomies. We all know what that means. Oh, and we have a nice little smile right there. Yeah, and I just feel like this is, there's just a sense of feeling so like solid in your foundation. I feel like things feel quite balanced right now. I feel like there's just, there's a sense of ease and yes, some happiness, enjoyment. And that feels good. It feels so good. You know? I can almost imagine like, well, and I don't know what Mr. Rogers was like in his personal life, but somebody that is just so loving and caring and wholesome and giving and patient and inviting. And even somebody who, and this is important, I find this to be really important, somebody who says what they mean and means what they say. You know? Okay, let's see. We have the 40. I'm just going to spin this a little bit again. Okay, so we have the 40, and now we have an 8 and a 0. So we have 80 as well. 40, 80. Okay. Now this person here, kind of kneeling, and they have a hat on. There's a large tree, apples falling, fruit falling. And I can see I almost think they're like elementals. So I feel like there's a sense of, like tending the gardens, right? Oh, and we also have a person down here who's holding some kind of, I must imagine like a radish or something. So I think that there's this real sense of like tending your gardens, and finding a lot of fulfillment in that. Now, this doesn't have to be an actual garden if you are not somebody who gardens, but this could be your domestic life, your responsibilities, your chores. But I feel like there is just such a harmony in your direct and personal world. I think that, sometimes, it gets kind of wild and the wind blows and you have apples falling everywhere and you're trying to pick them up and it's overflowing and, but I can just imagine that there are so many times when you stop and think, I'm so lucky. I've worked so hard for this, and I'm lucky that some of the things that I've wanted, some of the things I've needed have come to me. I've created these things. I've manifested them. The universe has seen fit to bestow these gifts upon little old me, right? And all of that is wonderful, but the real gift is the ability to be thankful. It's wonderful to receive things. It's wonderful to be able to even just, pay our bills and be able to have a job or a home, or, maybe a family member or two, or many family members, or a wonderful animal companion. Whatever it is, these are all wonderful things. But the real sweetness of all of it is to be able to stop and know, oh, I'm so lucky. Even if it's complete chaos most of the time, I'm so lucky. And those moments are the sweetest. Not when we're winning, not when we're hoarding things, money or resources, or an abundance of love, all wonderful things again, right? But it's that sweetness of just being able to think, God, this feels so nice. If you can think about sitting maybe in the backyard, right, on a sunny day, and it's still a little bit cool. It's maybe middle or late spring, but the sun is just shining down on you, and it feels warm. For the first time in the season, you felt so warm, and that stress that we hold in our body, especially during the cold months because it's so cold. And even if you don't realize that your body's kind of like, ugh, keep me warm. But then you get that warm sun on you, and it's like you can breathe. Oh, your shoulders relax, and you close your eyes, and it's orange and red, and the trees are starting to, get their leaves, and you can hear the wind blowing through them, and soon it'll be so lush. And you just in that moment, you think, God, I'm so lucky to be alive. I don't even know what I've done to deserve all of this. That's the thing. That's that thing. It's magical. Okay, let's take a look over here. I'm gonna cry my eyes are. I can't wait for it to get a little bit warm. I love the winter, and actually it's pretty warm already. It was almost 50 degrees today, which is absolutely bonkers for February in the north here. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't looking forward to things starting to get green again. Okay, so we have a moon. We have the crescent moon. We have a snake. We have a slug. So I feel like there's a sense of something really kind of moving slowly through kind of the central part of your life. And I almost wonder if this is information, because we have that serpent, which is the knowledge, and kind of we're waiting for some information to come in. And I think that this is something that we have that moon, and the moon sometimes can really kind of invoke anxiety, right? Just kind of like, I just wish I had all the information here so I could make a decision, or we could get this thing done. And I think this is really kind of more of a practical matter. So we also have the Ace of Cups, or the Grail, right here. Okay, so I really feel like this is a place where when you're starting to have that kind of rising anxiety of the unknowns, really thinking like, when are they going to call, or when am I going to know, like, how is this going to go? Is it going to go in my favor or not? What am I going to have to do? All these kinds of things. Then we get out the cup, the vessel of those emotional waters, right? And we do something that will distract us from this waiting. Okay, do something that feels good. Do something that is enjoyable. Go see a movie. Go splurge and see a movie, or I don't know, whatever you like to do. I mean, anything. Go to the museum. Go paint a picture. I don't know. Go. Trying to think. For some reason I thought, go to the boardwalk and eat some cotton candy. That sounds like fun. Well, whatever it is, do something for yourself, okay? Don't get mixed up in this spiral of anxiety, okay? Because things will happen in their own time, and everything is in its right place. Don't forget that. Now, I also wanted to mention, and I forgot to show, we have this beautiful angel up here. So I feel like there really is a sense of protection in your life. And I think that you really do feel this deeply. It seems to be quite an energy, and you maybe even are having kind of interactions with this being, maybe feeling the energy or the resonance of it in your home, in your sacred place. And that would also have to do with that Four of Discs, okay? So kind of that angelic visitor definitely hanging around. Now, we also have here the Mary Magdalene Oracle cards, and I'm going to go ahead and flip through those, and we'll stop where it feels right, and we'll read it together. And it says, "Beloved, love never ends. Love never ends." Let's do one more. And this one says, "The anointed, I rise with only more soul. I rise with only more soul." Beautiful. I love this deck so much. Okay, Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and they mean the world to me. I mean, they really do. So with that, I will say I love you. Take care of yourself. We will talk in just a few days. Okay, goodbye.